Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet the legendary Dan Hunt. He is the president of FC Dallas and one of the driving forces behind getting the World Cup to Dallas next year. His incredible journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, you don't even have to be a soccer fan to know that the World Cup is coming to Dallas next year, and there are going to be so many games played here. The world will be watching, and a person who has been on the leading edge of this for many, many years is Dan Hunt. He's in our studio. He's the president of FC Dallas and one of the driving forces behind getting the World Cup here. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff, for having me. It's great to be here with you today.
Thank you. Okay, so let's start at the beginning because soccer's been in Dallas since your dad introduced soccer to Dallas.
Yeah, in a professional sense. Like the story of us being in soccer is really interesting. My mother was actually a Rotary Scholar at what was North Texas State University. And so he visited her in Dublin, Ireland. And he decided, to see a match while he was over there, which was the University College Dublin, where she was a student, and also Shamrock Rovers game. And he fell in love with the game. It was different for him. My dad, Lamar, who's a famous sportsman, football was his thing. He played baseball. He would tell you he didn't play any of them very well. He rode the bench really well at SMU, is what he would tell you about it. Soccer was a new game, though, to him. And what he liked about it was the passion of the fans and also that moms and dads and brothers and sisters could play the game, right? Much different than American football, much different than baseball, basketball, and all you really need is a ball. And so he sees the 66 World Cup final, and he immediately decides that his hometown of Dallas, Texas is ready for professional soccer. Wow. We kid that he was 40 years too early on it. There was a lot of trials and tribulations with it, a lot of ups and downs. NASL goes out of business in '83, but with the World Cup coming in '94, the promise that we made FIFA was first division soccer will be back in the United States. And with that, it launched Major League Soccer in 1996.
Okay, much more from Dan in a minute. He was interviewed by WFAA a few months ago. I found this great piece. Let's go ahead and roll a piece of that.
We're bringing tailgating to the rest of the world, and they don't have the trucks to have tailgates, but we're going to teach them about it here.
Hey, just listen to the Ford commercials. American made, baby. Well, what an honor it is to be sitting down with you, Dan Hunt, of all people, especially at this time when we're almost a year out from the World Cup coming here. I just want to start with kind of the most obvious question that still for some people not involved in the soccer world isn't all that obvious. Why is it such a big deal that the U.S. gets to host World Cup games?
Yeah, well, it's this incredible time in soccer in the country, and you talk about it, just 1 year left till World Cup opens up. This has been almost 8 years of my life to get to this point. We started back in November of 2017 with our first meetings, and so to say, hey, we're a year out, it's almost oh my gosh, we've got to hurry up and go as fast as we can. But if you look back to prior World Cups, and I'll start all the way back to 1966, which was in England, my father took that inspiration from that World Cup and the fandom and decided to plunge right into professional soccer and start the Dallas Tornado right here in Dallas in 1967. So you got to be thankful for World Cups because it really kicked off the soccer movement here in Dallas. And you look at those guys who came over and played from Europe, and a lot of them stayed. That's what makes Dallas one of the hotbeds for youth soccer. And you say you have the Bobby Moffats and Kenny Cooper seniors, and the list, Charlie DeLong. I mean, the list goes on these great legends that played for the Tornado and stayed and started their own soccer clubs here, or coached high schools. And again, that's why there are so many top talents that come out of this market and have for generations. But then you look at the '94 World Cup, and that is what really kicked off Major League Soccer. MLS was actually supposed to start in '95, and they couldn't get there, so they started in '96 on the heels. That was the promise of FIFA bringing in the '94 World Cup, was that we would have major Division I soccer. And now fast forward to 2026, the largest tournament ever, 48 teams, 104 matches. I mean, the drama that's going to take place. And look, Dallas-Fort Worth is the epicenter of World Cup 2026. 9 matches, International Broadcast Center, and hopefully multiple base camps, including ones here at Toyota Stadium and Soccer Center.
I want to, obviously we'll talk a lot about World Cup specifics, teams playing, stuff like that, but I want to go down that rabbit hole a little bit further, because you do have this unique position because you have so much of the history of the World Cup experience that a lot of people don't. So starting with that '94 World Cup, how are you expecting this one to compare to that one, having lived through it? I say you were a ball boy during '94, right?
I was a ball boy. That's my
Okay.
claim to fame.
Yes.
They keep looking for me on camera, and I swear I was actually there for the Spain-South Korea match.
You swear.
Yeah, I swear. But what was cool about that, and my journey actually goes all the way back to 1986
Okay.
with the World Cup in Mexico. That was my first one.
Okay.
I've been to every one since. And what's really cool about the World Cup, and obviously we just had Qatar in 2022 and the first Winter World Cup, was that each country, or we've had dual country bids like Japan and South Korea in 2002, and now we have a tri-country bid with the United States, Mexico, and Canada.
Yeah.
You get this flavor of these countries, and really the citizens really put on a show and show off their country. It's something they're so proud of. And I just think there have been so many incredible moments. As I think about what's my favorite moment, I'm not even sure I have a favorite moment. The '90 World Cup was really special for me, though, because I got 35 days of my parents in Italy, which is a country they knew really well. We saw 22 matches.
Wow.
And most importantly, I just got to be with my mom and dad. And this is prior to a lot of technology, and just got to enjoy them. And I think back as how much fun that was. But '94 was huge. My dad was so excited to have it here in Dallas. He was the host of the chairman of the Dallas bid, and to bring the International Broadcast Center here. So I didn't really understand the context at the time. I was in high school of what the International Broadcast Center, what it meant. And that's really where the storytelling of World Cup takes place. And we have the International Broadcast Center here in 2026, and it'll broadcast to almost 200 countries.
Dan, this is a great place to pick up that story. So hosting the International Broadcast Center, what does that mean?
Yeah, well, I'm going to take a step back on that interview, which was a fun one. 2 great takeaways. I think I need to trim my beard, but I had great socks on, and it.
You didn't have a good sock game.
No, look, it's to have the International Broadcast Center in '94. I didn't understand with my dad what it meant. He was so passionate about it, and he understood the magnitude of it. And when you went in Qatar in 2022, there were 187 countries that were getting broadcast back from that center.
Wow.
And now I bet we'll be in the 190 plus range, maybe 200. I don't know.
Wow.
But all of the storytelling of World Cup
Yes.
2026 will take place right here from Dallas.
Incredible.
And that is what is so special about having the International Broadcast
So
Center.
like as you walk down the hallway of the convention center, you'll just hear broadcasting in so many different languages.
Yeah, I hope you don't hear it because the doors are closed. But it is. It's where the storytelling takes place. It'll be their spin on it, the passion for it. Some of those studios will be as small as one person, back on a radio type broadcast.
Yes.
And some of them will be, like the Fox studios, which are the English broadcast partner. And they were amazing. I got to tour them in 2022 and so well done. And there'll be huge expense to it. But This is the epicenter of World Cup 2026. We have 9 matches, the broadcast center, and we're going to have base camps. We really are going to, there'll be more drama that takes place here in the Metroplex than any other city in the entire bid.
Wow. We're going to pull a map, and this comes from one of the websites. It shows, like, go ahead and scroll down. There we go. I mean, it shows that this is all over DFW, isn't it?
It's a regional bid. I mean, you look at this, it's all over the Metroplex, so many base camps options. And then we have, obviously, AT&T Stadium, which will be called Dallas Stadium.
Yes.
FIFA takes that branding off. We hope to host teams at Toyota Stadium and Soccer Center, at least get one there at K. Bailey Hutchison Convention Center, International Broadcast Center. But one of the coolest things is the Metroplex will be activated. I mean, there will be so much flavor and excitement and energy, but there are also going to be 6 games, I believe, down in Houston and 6 in Kansas City.
Wow.
So we've got 21 games, and you can use this region. You can stay in Austin or San Antonio and catch a bunch of games, or Oklahoma City and Tulsa. I mean, the flavor and the passion and the excitement and the energy and the tourism dollars that are coming is great.
Dan, what does it mean for soccer in America?
I mean, we wouldn't be here today without the 66 World Cup, the 94 World Cup. It will grow the game. And people always ask me what my hopes are. My biggest hope is that we produce the American Messi out of this. We get kids that pick to play soccer and represent the U.S. national team, play in our domestic league and Major League Soccer. And I don't think it's going to be one. We have so many great athletes, especially that play in the NFL and NBA, and we're getting better and better athletes in Major League Soccer all the time. Some top athletes now. That's where we are. We just need more of them, and we will produce those global superstars. And when we do that, the day we do that is the day the U.S. really starts to be a regular in the semifinals and beyond.
Well, in most countries, you talk about their biggest sport, it's soccer. Here, it's probably the 5th sport. Right? The big 4?
It could be that. I mean, you could argue that. I mean, it has a different place in everybody's hearts, right? For some people, it's number 1. And if you look at, obviously, the Apple TV deal, the really exciting news that came out, we were just at league meetings about switching to the European calendar. I think this is going to be monumental for Major League Soccer. And I think it's going to be a thing that also helps fast forward that development too. The goal of Major League Soccer is to be a top 5 league in the world. And these last meetings we had, I think this is going to be one of those foundational times where we said we made the changes we needed to do to be a top 5 league.
Outstanding. Well, thank you for everything you and your family and your partners have done to make this happy. Actually, before we sign off, I want you to give a shout out to Monica Paul.
This is an easy one. Monica Paul is the head of the Dallas Sports Commission. She's our secret sauce in this, and people always laugh, and I think she gets angry at me when I say this, but she's able to bring all these regional governments together. It's not just Dallas, it's Plano, it's Frisco, it's Arlington, it's Fort Worth. We've got to all work together to put forth the best bid. Work with the Texas Special Event Fund, this trust fund that we have. It has no minimum and no maximum in tax dollars that it can provide to us for financial support, and she is that person that brings it together. She was key to our bid. She brought us all together, and I know FIFA is so impressed with her. So she's really an asset. There's a reason why North Texas has more of the big events than anybody else, and a lot of that has to do with Monica Paul.
Wow, great way to end this. We'll also leave you with the website. We'll put that on the screen. The great Dan Hunt. Thank you so much for sharing your heart, your wisdom, and your passion with us.
Yeah, thank you.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.